I was 4 and my granny died. I stood there next to my brother at the funeral. He was on my right. I remember looking up at him and seeing that he wasn't crying. I was really sad. I was very overwhelmed. I felt alone. I felt out like this was out of my control. And deep down, it really felt like I'd lost my best friend. The structure of my environment was such that I was homeschooled and went to a very small church, and so I had my siblings and the people at church, and there was nobody my age to be friends with. Not really. Nobody I really connected with. But Granny was different. Granny loved me, and she wanted to understand me, and she loved being with me. And then she died. I looked up at my older brother and saw he wasn't crying. And deep down within myself, I wanted to cry. I wanted to let all this out, but for some reason, I chose to hold it all in. I told myself, I'm going to be strong. I'm going to hold all this in. I'm not going to cry. 22 years later, I'm 26 now, and I still struggle to access my emotions. That was trauma that I went through as a kid. Just so we're all on the same page. That's a example of what trauma can look like. And that 4-year-old is still kind of in me in a way, as a part of me, as a part of my psyche, as a part of my mind, and is still in the background as I live my life, as I go through life and as I feel things. It's there, kind of clenching itself. Like, I'm not going to feel it. I'm not going to let it hurt me. I'm not going to... That kind of thing. I want to feel. I want to feel again. And I want to be fully connected to that part of me that I've disowned, that I've forgotten about, and that I'm slowly bringing back into my consciousness. And the truth is, when I started this journey, I wasn't even aware that that part was in me. I didn't even remember that that even happened. I was 18 when I dropped out of college, and it's been a 8-year journey to get to where I am now, where I've built a pretty great life. I just transitioned into a new career as a massage therapist. I create YouTube videos, I create music, and I have a pretty great set of routines that I do in my life that I enjoy, and yet I don't feel it. Why? I think part of it is that 4-year-old that still is holding on, still trying to hold back that river of tears that wanted to come out. What's come up as one of the most powerful ways to connect with myself and with my emotions is creating. For you, that might be creating little structures in the forest, stacking rocks. It might be cooking food. It might be building a business. It might be writing a book. It might be art. It might be any type of creativity. For me, it's playing music and creating music. There are times in my life where I feel aware that there's this kind of fuzzy backdrop to my life that I don't have access to. It's like an emotion that's out of focus, as if I am a camera lens and I'm trying to focus on an emotion, but it's out of focus. It's there, I don't know how to access it, I don't know how to focus on it, and that's why I create music sometimes, is to focus on it and feel it. Which is why I want to make this video. I want to share with you that creativity is a tool for trauma work, for accessing emotions, and for reconnecting with yourself. Creativity. You can turn creativity into a really powerful pathway for the trauma to resolve itself or integrate with you, as it does with me. And I'm still learning. I'm still figuring out how this works. I'm pretty young. I've got time to figure this out, thankfully. And I'm going to keep going.